Hello, this is Trent Nelson of Infinite Healing, and someone has asked me to speak about more about body language, and if I could talk about specific symptoms, or if I could talk about specific diagnoses, diseases, and what could be a physical, emotional, psychological, spiritual reason for the problem, for the symptoms, or for the diagnosis. So I'm happy to do that. And somebody wanted me to talk about depression. And what is depression, and can it be healed, and is there anything that you can do about it? And yes, there is absolutely something you can do about it. Depression is usually diagnosed a certain way, and obviously I'm not saying this to take the place of any advice that your physician or doctor may be giving you. Keep doing whatever you're doing that way, and I would learn about body language. So depression, the symptoms of depression usually are the absence of emotion, the feeling of sluggishness or a lot of sleepiness, inability to connect with people, the feeling of that you just don't have the drive to make things happen. And sometimes it's diagnosed as I feel sad or I feel emotional. If you're emotional, that's not a problem. Emotions are a necessary part of being healthy, and it's actually the thing that people tend to be not doing the most of the things that they need to be doing is being emotional. So emotion is very important when it comes to health. So emotion is the feeling of being sad, could be the feeling of being angry, it could be the feeling of being happy. If you're any of these three things, then you don't have depression. So if you're emotional, if you experience yourself being sad, you might be sad. If you're angry, you're probably angry about something, and you may need to think about what it is that's causing you to be angry. And if you're happy, you probably like that. So oftentimes the body will show where a person has a particular issue or problem. And in the case of depression, the depression actually will show itself as a depression or a compression of a particular area. Some area is not as expanded in the body as much as it could be. So take for instance depression. Oftentimes there will be a compression or a depression in the rib cage around the heart area. And why this is important is because this is where you tend to feel your emotions. It starts with a warming in the heart area. So if that chakra, if that area, those organs, the heart, the lungs in that area are compressed, are depressed, then it causes you to not feel as alive. So it could look like this. Somebody with depression, oftentimes the chest area is compressed, it's depressed. The rib cage is not as expanded as it could be. So there is a depression in the heart area, or in the chest area. So if you have that type of body language, then there is something that you can do about it. And some of the things that could happen physically, if the muscles around the ribs are tight, it could be pulling the rib cage into the center of itself, and what that would do is it would push on the lungs and the heart, causing the heart to not be able to beat as fully as it could, and not be able to send as much circulation to the rest of your body. The lungs, if they're compressed that way, might not be able to take in as much oxygen. If you don't take in as much oxygen, your brain might not be getting oxygenated, the heart doesn't receive a fresh amount of oxygen, causing you to feel like you have low energy or a lackluster emotional life or connection with people. So you can do something about this. I offer through my company Infinite Healing a technique called Infinite Bodywork, and there is a way to touch the body that could release the muscle tissue and relax the muscles that are tightening around the rib cage area. And if you can get those muscles to relax, the rib cage can expand again, the lungs can take in a fresh amount of oxygen, the heart can beat fully, and you don't experience the symptoms of the depression because the depression is no longer there. Instead, you have an expansion. So this is actually not that difficult of a situation to work with. And if you want more information about this, I recommend you contact my website, www.lulu.com/Trent Inspires. And I have books, and you can also contact me through that website or by my email, trentnelsоninspires@hotmail.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions or schedule an actual treatment of this bodywork, of infinite bodywork, and to help you release these symptoms or change these symptoms. And have worked with many people this way, and it's actually an easy situation to correct if you have the right skill and are willing to change. So thank you for watching this YouTube, and hope that answers your question.